Devotee asked Bhagwan Sri Ramanamahrishi, "What is the Jnana path?" Bhagwan said, "Yoga is similar because both help concentration of mind. Yoga aims at union of the individual with the universal reality. Yoga is itself an aid to self realization, the goal of all. This reality cannot be new. It must exist even now. Therefore, Jnana tries to find out how separation came about." Devotee asked, "How did avidya arise?" Bhagwan said, "Avidya is like Maya, that which is not. Therefore, the question is, what is avidya? Avidya is ignorance. It implies subject and object. Become the subject, and there will be no object. The statements of scriptures that the self is perfect, yet that removal of ignorance is necessary, appear contradictory, but they are for the guidance of earnest seekers who cannot yet understand the plain truth. Krishna plainly said that people confound him with the body, whereas he was not born nor will die. The self is simple being, be, and there will be an end of ignorance. The I is always there. There is no knowing it. It is not a new knowledge to be acquired. There is an obstruction to its knowledge called ignorance. Remove it. But ignorance or knowledge is not for the self. They are overgrowths to be cleared. Devotee asked, "Why do I not realize the self?" Bhagwan said, "The fact is that all the while you are knowing the self, how can the self not know the self? Only you, the self, have got into the habit of thinking that you are a third thing. What is to be done is to get rid of the wrong notion of the self. In the case of the ever present, inescapable I, how can you be ignorant? You have constantly to fight out and get rid of your false notions of I, one after another. Do that. That then leads to self realization. Who is ignorant of which? That then ask the question and pursue the inquiry as to who is it that is said to be ignorant. Once you put the question trying to probe into the I disappears. Then what remains is true self knowledge. Again, what is avidya? Ignorance of self. But who is ignorant of self? The self must be ignorant of self. Are there two selves? If you accept one philosophical system, then you are forced to condemn the others. A child and Jnani are similar. Incidents interest the child only as long as they last. It ceases to think of them after they have passed away. So then it is apparent they don't leave any imprint or impressions on the child, and it is not affected by them mentally. So it is with the sage too. Devotee asked, "I understand this, but I do not realize it." Bhagwan said, "Because you are engaged with multiplicity, you say you have flashes of insight, etc. You consider this variety to be real, but unity alone is real. This variety must go before unity reveals itself, its reality. It is always real. It doesn't send flashes of its being in the false variety. On the contrary, this variety obstructs the truth. Realization is ever present, not absent at one time and present at another. For example, the sun doesn't see darkness, but others speak of darkness. fleeing at his approach. Similarly, ignorance is a phantom. When it's unreal, nature is found. It's said to be removed. Again, the sun is there and you are surrounded by sunlight. But to know this, you must turn your eyes in his direction and look at him. So, also, the self is found by practice alone, although it is here and now. Hari Om Tat Sat.